Hello viewers, here is a Windmere oscillating pedestal fan. This is a model number SF-16H, unfortunately made in China. Here's a look at the informations. Paragon Industries. Got this for free, somebody was throwing it out. I really can't fathom why, because it's in really good condition. The only thing that's wrong with it is it's missing one of the 4 feet, and that's easily fixed by putting a drop or two of hot glue on there. It's really in pretty nice condition still. The badge is flawless, and it's really not even that dirty. The guard still has most of its shine to it. I can only imagine it doesn't work, but I don't see why it wouldn't. So let's go ahead and plug this up and see what happens. Okay, it's plugged up now. And here we go, we'll start off on low. Well, I guess now we know why it was thrown out. It looks like it has quit. Oh, probably just needs to be oiled. Now let's see if that's easily done or not. That is really, actually, you know what? Is it the oscillator? Nope. That is really stiff. And boy, it seems to be stuck on there. Oh dear, almost fell. Okay. Doesn't look like it has that many hours on it. It's disappointing that it locked up that quickly. I'm actually a little bit surprised that this doesn't work. Because for whatever reason, people seem to throw things out that are perfectly good all the time. Where's the screwdriver? That's a weird looking motor. Maybe it's not a very good motor either. Actually, it's a pretty good size. It's bigger than most of what's in the box fans of today. That's impressively sized. Okay. Oscillation switch is one of those ones that just pulls off. And there is another screw here in the back. Okay, let's see here. Chem 1 model N16.75 amps. Now it was raining today when I got this, so it did get wet, but I don't think that rust started in just a few hours. I can't even turn this by hand, it's so locked up. It's not really loosening up at all. You have to go in from the back. Yeah, it's pretty dirty there. Before I go any further, I'm going to get the kilowatt meter out and see if it draws any power. I didn't hear anything when I had plugged it in. Usually, you'll at least hear some kind of a humming sounds or something. Fit too well. I'll make it fit. Okay, go to watts. And we got nothing. So I suspect this may have locked up during operation and the thermal fuse has given out. So this is probably going to turn into a more complicated repair than I was expecting. Well, since we're going to have to split the motor open anyways, we might as well just go ahead and do so now. And it's going to be quite difficult to do so, very time consuming, because the shaft is filthy and I can't spin it up to clean it. Alright, so we got to tap this thing out of here. And I want to be very, very careful not to damage the shaft at all. I have to use a hammer. Okay, that's out. And I realize I keep walking in front of the camera. I got no other way to record this. This really needs to be sanded down because there's a rust there which is probably going to stop it from coming off. let's see what I can do with that much. So this motor, unlike most of the ones today, is held together with a nut and a bolt like it should be. So this should be able to be opened up with relative ease. Okay, it's a little bit tight though, so I'll have to do it manually. Actually, instead of that wrench, probably can use this bolt driver. If the right size. Okay, gonna have to use the wrench. Nope, it's gonna strip. Okay. This is gonna be a fun one, I can tell. And I think I'm going to stop here because it's getting late, and this is not going to be a quick fix by any means. This is probably going to be a several hour project. I'm not going to take that on at 9 o'clock at night. Maybe I'll just loosen all these and then we'll call it quits there, because that's a relatively decent stopping point. Okay. I should be able to get all these off now. Okay, so it should be ready to come apart now. Just a matter of trying to split it free at this point. There we go, it's starting to come now. It looks like the stator is attached to the back. It's this bearing that's really locked up. Okay, so I need to get this out of the casing here. Actually, let me see if I can pull this out or not. Oh, that will come out. Okay. Nope, it just froze. Okay, I'm not going to force that out yet. Let's Alright, let's see what we have here. The good thing is I don't see any winding burn, so it's probably repairable. It's a very small stator for the size of the shell. This is not at all what I was expecting. This is nothing to write home about whatsoever. Although it looks like it was made relatively well. I suspect the thermal fuse is in here somewhere. So I'm going to cut that off and see if I can find it. Oh, it just broke off. So that's a good indicator that this got pretty hot at some point. That's very brittle. All of this is. Okay, I'm going to have to remove the string here. Okay, I suspect that's our thermal fuse right there. So at this point I'm going to lower the stand down and get this onto the table. Okay, so now we can work it a little bit easier. And open this up all the way. And let's see what we have here. Yep, there it is. There's the thermal fuse right there. And I'm fairly certain that's opened. Let's see, where does it connect? This is going to be a little bit tricky to rewire. So it goes here and then there. Okay. Alright. Trying to think of what the best way to do this is. Let me see if I can peel this back at all. I don't think so, that's very tight. There we go. Well, not quite. That just broke the fuse, which is fine. The fuse didn't work anyways. Okay, so perhaps what I will do is no idea where that went. think what I want to do here, yeah, not a lot of wire to work with from the winding. So I'd like to preserve this if possible. I think the thermal fuse was breaking the connection between these 3 wires. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these 3 wires, I'm going to put them together, and I'm going to get the meter out and run some continuity tests and see if we're getting reasonable readings. And if we do, then I will put it back together for a test. Here we go with these stupid wire nuts again. I don't have any reasonable quality wire nuts. I don't think this one's going to work either, but try it out of desperation. I may be able to do to make this work is bend the wires like this. That may work well enough for the test. Okay, I've got the meter connected here. Turned on, rather. It's not connected yet. Now it's connected. Now this is off, and we're getting a little bit of continuity, which is kind of concerning. But let's go low, medium, high. Okay, those readings are fairly reasonable. Alright, I think it's safe to plug it up now. So, what I'm going to do is try to cram this stuff in here somehow. Okay, I'm going to do this off video because it's going to take some time. Okay, that's back in, and this is, the front bearing is spinning enough to I think work with it just for the test. I'll put another couple drops of oil in there just to hopefully prevent wearing anything out. And the back, it really needs to be cleaned, but just for the test I'll do this. And now let's see if I can get this to go back on and not lock up. Oh, it's locked up, that's for sure. I did not align these screws correctly either. That may be half the problem. Oh, I thought I was going to be able to get away with not cleaning the shaft, but I think I'm going to have to clean it. Because this is just no chance at running. Can't even get it back out. think the primary source of the problem is within this rear bearing. A lot of stuff gummed up in there. And it's not terribly unusual because some of the grease from the oscillation box enters in here. And I see a fair number of these fans where it's the rear bearing that's causing the trouble. Alright, let's give that a try. What is the problem here? Heck? How could that be? Oh, I guess that's how it could be. Okay. Oh, it's still pretty tight. Let me put these screws in here and see if maybe I can tap it into alignment, perhaps. There we go, now it's got a chance at working. Okay. It's not spinning very freely, but it should at least run now. Okay, before I plug it up, I'm going to put it back on the meter one more time to make sure the readings are still reasonable. The readings are still reasonable, so I'm going to start off on low. And I'm going to plug it in and see what happens. Nothing. Nothing happened. Okay, where's my kilowatt meter? You lose a kilowatt meter. Here it is. Nothing. Not a single watt. Oh, there we go. That did something. Let's try high. That's working too. Okay, so there's a problem with the low winding, which I don't quite understand because there is resistance across it. Oh, now it's open. Now it's 198. Huh. Wonder why it's not open. Now it's drawing 0.3 amps on low. It may just not have enough power to start itself up. That's going to be my suspicion. Well, this is just going to freely spin on here, I think, because there's no blade. But let's see. There's no. Yep, it's working. Okay. So it will just end up needing a new thermal fuse. fairly simple, well, it's not really a simple repair, but it's certainly doable. I'm not feeling quite that ambitious to do it tonight. So we're going to close this back up for now, and we'll resume either tomorrow or whenever I have the time to do this.